Hi, Andy Semichuk with Pace Law Firm. I wanted to talk about the interview in spousal sponsorship cases. And in this case, we can talk about both Canadian and US interviews because they're very similar. And I'm reminded of a story. First of all, an interview, the purpose of the interview is to determine whether the marriage is genuine or not. Is it a marriage of convenience for immigration reasons? Or is this the real thing, an honest, real marriage where the parties got together because they wanted to get married? That's the key question. And I'm reminded of a story I wanted to tell you. It's a story during World War II when people were interrogating people that were caught, prisoners of war, and they wanted to find out what the true nationality of the person was. What they'd do is they'd put him in a room with a bed and put the guy on a bunk, and he'd be sleeping. And in the middle of the night, they'd pull out the legs from the bed, and he'd fall on the floor suddenly in the middle of his sleep, and he'd stand up and start cursing, usually in the language that he spoke normally. And that's how they figured out what the nationality the prisoner was. And in a sense, they use such techniques in interviewing spouses when dealing with determining what is the truth about their marriage. So what they do is they ask one spouse to leave the room, and then they ask the spouse that remains a bunch of questions about the marriage. Questions like, well, what does he like to eat for supper? And what kind of shorts does he wear, boxers or briefs? Things like that. Ridiculous questions, but they do. And you can get a better view of this if you take out the movie The Proposal, starring Sandra Bullock. It's in there. They have a little bit about what the interview is like if you're anxious to prepare for an interview. At any rate, what they're testing is this a real marriage? And you have to sort of basically go over what you anticipate might be the questions. We can help you a little bit on that. Not to, prepare yourself in any great detail. You're going to be telling the truth, but just so you're, on the same page into what you're expecting as a result of this interview and how you're going to deal with it. So if you have any questions in this area or any others, you can always contact me at Pace Law Firm. You can email me at andy@myworkvisa.com, and I'll talk to you next time.